Hey guys, I'm just gonna color in stuff. I don't think I'll be talking very much. So yeah, just gonna chill. We got a wall moth guy. Let me see if you can get a... My camera setup is pretty hoopty. So, got a little Lenny face. Got a little wall moth. And we're just gonna watercolor him. Right now I have on a little, it's like lo-fi jazz hip-hop. I don't know, it's not one of the streams I normally put on, which is one of those 24/7 lo-fi whatever. It's had some pretty interesting stuff on it. Just want to get these backgrounds on first. Also, I'm sorry if there's like a green flash every so often. I don't know why it does that. When I streamed on Instagram before, it didn't do that, but you can only do it for like an hour at a time. But, yeah, I don't know. Ideally, what I want to do is pretty soon, I want to pick up a little webcam and stream on YouTube. Because I tried to do it from my phone, but I found out my version of Android is too old to stream from mobile. You have to have like Android 5, and I just have a crappy refurbished phone with like Android 4. So hopefully pretty soon I can get that situated, because I'd like to be able to, show you what I'm doing and not have weird green flashes. Now when you watercolor, if you decide you want to pick it up, something good to keep in mind is that the water is a great eraser. So say you get in a little farther than you want, you just take a little water and you wipe it up. I find watercolor really relaxing. It's like instant gratification art. Some people are really into doing oils and taking months or years to make something beautiful. And for me, I just love the way color blooms and drips. And, you can have something in a short amount of time that, maybe it doesn't take months, but it still says something.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Oh, this is a lo-fi hip-hop version of Pure Imagination. I don't know, this has been kind of a weird collection of music. Not necessarily bad, but some of it's like really derivative of pop culture. It's just weird to hear. Like the other day on one of these streams, I heard a song where somebody had sampled one of the tracks from the score for Donnie Darko. Not like Love Will Tear Us Apart or anything, but like one of the instrumental, actual, tracks from the score. And it was okay. It was just a little weird to hear. I don't know, isn't it always a little strange when you immediately recognize, oh, I know that sample. I don't know, it's always weird for me. So, I want to put little stripes on her shirt. Just so you guys can see what I've got. It's, I have my Daler-Rowney portable watercolors, the Aquafine, as it's called. It's a great portable set. The colors are really nice. They last forever. I also have a little palette of colors I mixed up from different watercolor tubes. It's really weird using the camera because you have to work at a different angle, because normally I like to get a lot closer, like get really, like a couple inches away from what I'm doing for some things, or I like to have my hand a lot closer just because it's more comfortable. But it's interesting to get used to something different. I like this too. Yeah, the blue I'm using right now is one of the ones I have in the little custom palette I've got kicking around over here. It's a blue I love, and yeah, sometimes it's kind of a pain to mix up specific colors. So it's nice to just have them readily in the palette, just because you already mixed them a long time ago. Gonna grab a little more water. I guess I'm more chatty than I thought I'd be today. The past couple of days have just been kind of weird. Just been kind of quiet. Maybe I'm feeling chatty just because I'm drinking tea. I normally make a pot of yerba mate in the late morning or early afternoon and slowly kind of drink that up during the day. Alright. So, I'm going to give the stripes a little bit of time to dry, because if I work around there right now, it's going to bleed all over everything. And if you see me pause, I'm just like responding to chats real quick. Just chit-chatting with friends. I'm thinking... I just want to blend that out a little bit. I'm thinking for her headscarf, maybe a little bit of yellow. I forgot to fill in a little bit of background down there. It's just a little spot right under the tail of her headscarf. Let's grab a little bit of orange, water it down a bit. Yeah, right now I'm just chit-chatting with a friend about I'm allergic to food dyes and stuff, especially things like if you see on a package something has like red 40 in it. I'm allergic to stuff like that. And my friend was telling me that stuff is made out of coal tars or something. I have no idea what a coal tar is, but it doesn't sound terribly healthy. But who knows, maybe there's free-range, organic, fair trade, cruelty-free organic. It's double organic, double secret organic coal tar. I don't know, I think I'm just blabbing to hear myself talk. While those stripes are drying, what I'm doing here is I want to add a little more intensity to the colors I used in the wash back here in the background. And I want those leaves on those vines to be a little more visible. Because otherwise, once I start putting on that green, it's going to be a little bit muddy. Let's see. I think I like the orange for that. That's kind of a funny thing with watercolors, too. They're very flexible. I mean, like, pretty much any paint that I've used is. I haven't tried, like, spray painting or anything, so I don't know about that. I can't speak for experience on that. But, most paints that people use, oils, acrylics, watercolors, once you learn how they work, they're very flexible, and they can be very forgiving to work with. Like with an oil painting, it's kind of a, top of my brush fell off. Anyway, it's a bit of a learning curve. But once you learn the process, you have, depending on how you put it on, you have days or weeks or even months to change around what you're doing, or to just add to it on a whim. Anyway, what I'm doing here, my arm is probably in the way. But I'm just holding down this edge a little bit so I can get a little more color in there. I want to mix up a nice violet. When I test this out, okay, that is a violet. The swatch next to it was like a dark blue, so it's kind of hard to tell because the light in here is a little dimmer than it probably looks on the camera. Now, funny thing is, even though I put music on these streams, during these streams, I don't really listen to music that much. I listen to podcasts. I mean, I don't listen to music much while I paint, but I do listen to podcasts and YouTube videos I've heard before, live streams, things like that. Yeah, things with people talking. Yeah, so if there's something informative, I can kind of still learn and digest stuff while I'm working. I used to listen to tons of music while I painted, but for me, as time's gone on, what I found I enjoy is like listening to music while you're making something feels like you're digging into other people's heads while you're trying to figure out what's in yours and putting it on paper or canvas or whatever. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing to listen to music and do art, but it does, it does influence how you do stuff in a subconscious way usually. Like, would I have picked the same colors if I were listening to different music? That's something to think about. It might have turned out to have an entirely different tone. Needs more red. Also, here's a little something for you guys. If you ever get into painting, a lot of times you'll find that a red in your palette, if you just buy one at the store or something, or you buy a red paint, often the red will be very pinkish. Mix it with a little orange, and you'll get a very true red. Like, see, here's just the red from my palette. It's very pinkish, but let me add some of that orange. And you'll come out with more of a fire engine red or a vermilion or a cadmium red almost. Not necessarily cadmium red, but I'm just kind of working around these leaves and adding more intense colors. Just because I think that'll be very pretty for those greens later on. There we go. I'm gonna make like a yellow-orange, I think. I like having lots of rainbowy colors and transitions between color. I guess gradients would be a better way to say it. I like lots of gradients in what I do. There's a lot you can do with the simplicity of more flat colors, but I don't know, I just like to overdo it with color. Let me get more red down here. And then I think I'll do maybe more blue and violet. But first I want to work my way down to where that is. I remember earlier today when I was doing the liner, I posted it right after I got done with it. Spent maybe an hour or so. You know, I had these penciled out earlier and then I did the lines in about an hour. I remember I had very different ideas of what to do for the colors, but, you know, the things you're exposed to kind of change how something comes out. Just because I had a preconceived idea of how I wanted something to look doesn't mean I stick to it. I just kind of go with whatever I think might look fun, or maybe would look cool, or would help something in the painting stand out better. Because for me, the important thing is having fun with the process. That's why I like doing stuff like these live streams. You know, even if nobody's watching live, I can post them later, and I like being able to, you know, share what I'm doing and finding different ways to do it to kind of keep it compelling. Because if you get caught up doing the same stuff all the time, it's easy to get burnt out, even if it's something you love doing. Because I know every so often I get that with art where I'm just like, God, what am I doing? You know, have I finally lost the touch? You know, I think it's something anybody who does any sort of creative pursuit kind of struggles with. But, you know, you just gotta keep yourself on your toes somehow, I think. And I figure, what better way to do that than creating things in front of an audience? Not that I have much of one, but, you know, just the idea of one is enough to kind of make you think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because it's easy to just BS something and hope people like it. But I'm hoping with time, you know, maybe I can build up enough of an audience that I have something interesting, or I can have some more direct interaction. Like something I would love to do, if I can build up the kind, even just a few people that come to watch. I'd love to do a stream where people come in and, you know, tell me, you know, like people vote on what to put on part of the painting as I do it. So like I'll start something, people say start a dragon, and then maybe it has monster truck wheels instead of legs. And, you know, just things like that. I just want to keep it kind of fresh. Like the meme art thing has been pretty funny. Cause like I did a steamed hams painting that sold within a day. And then like I did a Pepes one, you know, that meme people use for Pepsi. It was originally from a funny mispronunciation of the word penis. But it just became associated with Pepsi somehow. I don't know. There's a Know Your Meme page if you want to look. But yeah, those sold like really fast. So I don't know. I think maybe fine art memes are a direction that could be fun. It's not something I've done before. So it's nice to do something a little different because, you know, you want to do stuff people like, but that you still enjoy. It's hard to strike up that balance. Let's see, there's a lot of reds and pinks and oranges back there. I'm trying to figure out what color to make her skin. Because I used a light brown pencil, but there's a lot of really warm red, so I want to figure out a good way to make her skin stand out with all these colors. But first, I'm going to do a very pale green for the... She's got like, you know, little cuffs and a collar with lace trim. I'll get a little color on there. I'm just cleaning up where I overlapped with those stripes. If you take a brush with a decent point to it and a little water, you can clean stuff up really nice. Let's see, she's got yellow, blue, and green. I'm thinking there's so much orange and red there. I need to think about a good color for the flowers, too. Because something I do a lot with paintings is I've always had an interest in the symbolism of flowers. And they can take on a wide variety of meanings depending on, you know, different cultures and time periods. Like in the Victorian era, yeah, especially in Victorian England and, you know, the Americas, people had very specific meanings for flowers. So even the number of berries and, you know, buds and blossoms mattered. It's very subtle. It's more subtle than I am, that's for sure. But it's fascinating stuff. There are a couple really great books about it. The Victorian Language of Flowers is often how it's referred. a deeper bluish green. I need to do bottoms of the stems down here. And I'll leave that alone for a bit. I want to let the green on those tulips dry before I start doing her skin and stuff. What I might do, I'll work on her brooch. She's got a little choker here, a little jewel brooch on it. Oh, I need to finish the collar on the other side too. It's peeking through the flowers a bit. Let's see. I'm gonna grab an ochre, nice dark yellow, and kinda get some deeper colors there. A little green got in there, but that's okay. I kind of like it. Thinking do a little gold. And then I'll fill in the brooch once the border's dried. What I think I'll do, I'll set this aside for now. And I'll let it dry. I'm not ripping it off the paper. It's attached to the easel with tape, so I'm lifting up the tape from the easel instead of lifting the paper off the tape. That's why it sounds like, oh my god, is it ripping? Anyway, here's to show what I've got so far. Yeah, she's got a little Lenny face. It's gonna be beautiful. Alright. Let's move. He's got tape on the back too. What I think I want to do is once I get this guy filled in, I want to print out like part of an OkCupid profile where it says like the first things people notice about me and put my eyes. There's something nice about watercolor too. If you use too much water, and you can normally catch it with your brush. And if you paint in little edges, it'll normally catch stuff as it drips. So I'm just spreading out some of the blue here. I went in pretty strong with it. Maybe not. Maybe like a yellow green. Yeah, this guy, it's I don't know, I really love the extremely tiny eyes. They're so small. He needs those pinch nose glasses. I'm very bad with French, so I don't use the French terms. Like, the pronunciation is embarrassingly bad on my end. But, yeah, let's, just gonna dab in a little bit of that yellow-green with a little bit of water, just to get a kind of interesting texture back there. He looks like the kind of guy who needs love. Even if you got really tiny eyes and a really tiny mouth. But, yeah, you gotta have love. Right? Alright. Just gonna throw in a warmer yellow over here, because otherwise it's gonna be all chartreuse. It's not gonna be very easily visible. Here, let me, there we go. I just want to make sure that's a little more readily visible. Ooh. Okay. I'm thinking muted purple polo. Yeah, here we go. A nice kind of plum color. So he looks like a plum polo guy, if that's a thing. He's got a very pink skin, I think. Pink skin, I was thinking orange hair. Red roses in the back. At least, you know, maybe it'll change as the music does. I don't know. But I just want to get stuff kind of blocked in for now. Let's work on that skin. There we go. Very peachy. Gotta accentuate the butt chin. The thickness of the neck. I wanted him to have skin kind of like Brock Lesnar. You know, the kind of chronic steroids use red. Where he was really pink and maybe a little sweaty. And then what you can do after you block in a little color, if you take a little water, you can blend stuff out. And then as you want to get more saturated colors, you can just throw more on top. Just make sure it has a second to dry, or, you know, things are going to bleed a little bit, probably. I want him to have a shiny red nose. A little pink on his incredibly tiny lips. A little shadow under the mustache. Some jowls. A little shadow under the glasses and around the eyes. looks like somebody's incredibly concerned dad. It's pretty close to the color I wanted. But you see what happens when you go in and the color's really wet, how that orange is starting to bleed down? That's because I went in too close to that skin color while it was wet. That's okay though. If we take a little water and a decently clean brush, we can mop it up. So I'll do that in a second. Use your fingers a little bit, you know, assuming they're clean and not covered in ink or anything. That can help kind of dry things up for you to move paint around. Anyway. Now that the big stuff is filled in, I'm going to take a smaller round brush. Use this little fella, size 5, Royal Taklon bristles. The other one I think was a size 6. Oh, I need to fill in the mustache. I can't believe I almost forgot. The mustache and the eyebrows are crucial. I'm gonna give them, let's do like little green eyes. Go in with a little extra color on the lips. Add a little more to the nose. Take a little water and blend it out a little bit. And add a little flush to his cheeks. You know, some people just have really red cheeks. That's what I'm thinking for this guy. Let's see. Anyway, I'll be uploading this and the other streams that I did on Periscope to my YouTube channel. Like, I know they're not the greatest quality right now, but you know, that way you guys can kind of see the whole process if you want. And I'll be doing the little time lapses too. I want to get a couple of those knocked out tonight. I don't have very much in the way of video editing skills. I know, you know, the most bare bones stuff. But it's nice to be able to just throw something together. Just for the fun of it. Let's see. He's so stern looking. I'm gonna fill in his eyebrows with that yellow orange that I mixed up earlier. He looks like an extremely concerned dad. I'm thinking he seems like a gentleman. Maybe we'll do pink roses. I'm just going to fill in a base color on them. I'm going to spread out this color over the other flowers, just so they're similar but not exactly the same. And I'm going to break them up with a green for the leaves. That came out a little more purpley than I wanted, but that's okay. The second coat, I'll go warmer. I want to get the water spread out so these dry a little faster. And once I do a base coat on the leaves, I'll give him a little time to sit. And then what I think I'll do is I'll get back to Miss Lenny Face. If anybody who watches this is regularly on Twitch, the creative section has some pretty choice stuff. There's usually some Bob Ross to watch. I remember when they first introduced the creative section on Twitch, they kicked it off with a 9-day-long Bob Ross marathon. This was back in, I think, late 2015. I slept like a baby that week, just because I had the stream on all the time, and his voice is just so relaxing. Yeah, I learned a lot about painting, too. I don't work with oils that much, but his process is really efficient and really interesting. I'm just going to fill in the base green on these leaves. I'm going to give him a little time to dry, and I'll come back to him. I think I'm going to finish Lenny Face tonight and put her up for sale. Also, when I put these up, I got some frames. So I'm going to frame these little fellows so they're ready to hang. I want to do that with my other pieces too, but they're such specific sizes. What happened there? There's like a little thing. Oh, I got it. It's kind of the nice... It looks like a bit of a eraser. I think that's what that was. Let's see. Just want to make sure it's still easily visible. Now pull this up just a bit. There we go. I'm still really new to the streaming stuff, so I'm still kind of learning. Like, my setup for this camera is a little bit tacky. I have a stool from my dining table with a toolbox and a full thing of Tupperware with some stuff in it. Mostly just junk I keep on my desk. I just throw in like an empty container. So I have those stacked on top of each other on the stool. And then I have a little collapsible tripod, one of those little $10 ones from Amazon. And you know, I have my phone mounted on it. It was even more low rent last week before I got the mount for my phone. Because I was using this tripod as, hold on, I'm gonna put this back. I was using this tripod and I had it in kind of a claw shape, and I'd stick my phone in it and kind of finagle it at a specific angle. It worked out, but it was hard to see stuff on the display for obvious reasons. So, I'm gonna work on Lenny face. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll work for now. I just want to make sure it's not too dark. Is all the natural light in my apartment is kind of off on one side of it. So it's really great to work in during the day, but for the sake of, you know, doing video stuff, I really need to get some proper lights. I'll get there, though. For now, I'll figure stuff out. I'm gonna do a little blue-violet. What I might do here for a little bit of shine, I'll go in with a fine brush and a little bit of white acrylic. Just add a couple little dots. So, this is one of the frames I'll be using, I think. What do you guys think? I'm kind of feeling the polka dot frame. That's really cute.
Always being active and doing things. I think it's quite possible to do all sorts of things, and at the same time be completely dead inside. I mean, you're doing all these things, but are you doing them because you really feel an impulse to do them? Or are you doing them mechanically, as we were saying before? Because I really do believe that if you're just living mechanically, then you have to change your life.
Have to do red for the tulips. That's what I'm thinking. Bright red tulips. Also, for those of you who are interested in learning to do art stuff, and you don't know much about like the way people use colors, one easy tip to keep in mind is that warm colors tend to pull things forward visually, and cool colors push them back. I mean, you can operate with color however you want. But that's just like, you know, really basic idea of where to get started with things like that. So yeah, I'm thinking red tulips. Build up color so it's more intense. I like this berry color too. This is just the base red in my custom palette. I have a couple of them, but this is the one I prefer because it has the colors I use the most often. And boy, have they put up with me. I've got green, blue, purple, yellow. I think I'll do like a peachy skin tone. Because she doesn't really have any orange on her. So maybe like deep orange skin. a little shadow. I'll give her olive skin. I think that'll work. Her face is starting to crack me up a little bit. I mean, the premise was earlier, but now that things are starting to get filled in, it's really goofy looking. Oh well. I think I'll paint her nail too, so you can see the thumbnail there. I think I'm going to end the stream once I do a little more on her, because I want to make dinner soon. First, I want to get some work done on the vines back there. I'm thinking a very deep blue-green. I'm gonna do different greens on each vine. Just kind of break things up back there. But over here, I want some deeper, cooler greens. So, I think tonight I'll throw together a little time lapse of this, and I'll upload the full stream to YouTube as well. I was going to do it earlier in the weekend, but until I found a place where I could download Periscope videos, I was trying to just upload the footage from my phone to my computer, and it would keep getting corrupted in, I just edit in Windows Movie Maker, but the file would keep getting corrupted in that. There we go. Before I move on with the vines, I want to get a little more on her skin, because I didn't fill in very much over here. Her skin's going to be pretty yellow for a second, but as I add more color, things will even out. Sometimes it just takes a while to build something up. It's good to start soft and then work your way up to more intense colors. Let's see. I'm just checking to see how the vines look against the background. Because, something good to keep in mind too, if you want to get into art of any kind, is step back and take a look at what you're doing every so often, or look through like a camera lens, or take a picture with your phone or a camera of some kind, because the things you see when you're like 6 inches or a foot or however far away from what you're doing, the things that you see and focus on are a lot different than if you can look at everything together through a camera lens. It makes it easier to see how everything kind of fits together, and it keeps you from getting caught up in little details. Because otherwise, if you don't step back and kind of take stock of things, it's very easy to get caught up in get caught up in those details, and then you end up overworking them, and then it's, you know, you get dissatisfied with what you have. So it is worth it to step back every so often, because, you know, that minute or so you take to look at stuff will save you hours of trouble. Let's see, for this green, I'm gonna add more yellow. Also, if you've never painted before and you want to learn, grab a cheap pack of brushes to start. Something a lot of people do when they're like, I want to learn how to paint, is they grab what they think would be, you know, the really nice stuff, you know, but you want to grab trash. You want to grab cheap stuff to learn on. Like, you know, if you go right for the professional watercolors, but you're not comfortable with using them yet, what's the point? It's good to learn on the cheap stuff. That way, when you use, you know, more quality materials, you're better equipped to use them more effectively. Because, I mean, you can do a lot of cool stuff with just, like, you know, those dollar store watercolor palettes. Those are fantastic to practice on. And the color's decent. The reds fade out very quickly, but most reds do. That's just something that happens. That's why if you go to an art museum and you see like a painting from the 1700s and it has a lot of bold reds in it, if it hasn't been restored in a while, those reds will be pink. Because even back then, just from years of light exposure, the reds fade. Let's see. I want to get a nice cool green over here. Yeah, just what's something I recommend. Go to a craft store, pick up one of those, like, you know, multi-packs of, you know, cheap brushes. You know, destroy those, because, I mean, it's just a couple bucks. But with that couple bucks, you get a lot of experience. I mean, I still even have cheap brushes from 10 years ago that work fantastically. My mom's an artist, too. And, I mean, she's been at it a lot longer than me, but even she has brushes that have lasted her decades. And the really nice ones will last you that long. Especially if you take good care of them. But even the cheap ones, they're great to learn on, and they'll last you a good long while. Some don't, but most of the time, as long as you take good care of stuff, they'll hold up. Some of the round brushes tend to very easily lose that point, but, you know, there are always other brushes for stuff like that. I'm thinking for the very small vines in the background, they're probably not very easy to see through this camera, but what I might do is I might go in with some fine point ink and line those. I'm just adding a little more green, spreading out the stuff that collected here at the bottom. And I'll add a little more green around her collar. Anyway, when most people learn how to paint, they normally start with acrylics. I started with watercolor. When I started painting, I hated it. I was like, this isn't fun, I want to draw. But, yeah, I ended up really loving it. Because once you learn how to use the stuff, it's so easy and so relaxing to just make something. Let's see. I wonder if I could add a little bit. Oh, I was going to do a little bit of shadow on her shirt, but I want to give the collar time to dry first. I want to see where that... add a deeper green on those leaves, the leaves and stems for tulips. Anyway, I was thinking stuff like that could be fun too. Is just kind of giving little tips and tricks for painting. I'm self-taught, so I'm not like the painting master, but I can explain things that have worked for me, and I can demonstrate new things as I learn them. Because, there's no real, people like to act like there are a lot of rules in how to do art. There aren't that many. Pretty much one of the big ones is don't do acrylics on top of oils or they'll slip off. But otherwise, I don't know. The only real boundary that you have to deal with is physics and chemistry. Just the rules set by reality. So just, I don't know. I'd rather have fun than worry too much about rules. With that in mind, there are guidelines for if you want a specific look. So it's good to learn the traditional stuff. Because while there are no rules, if you learn what the rules are, it's easier to break them. It's easier to do something fun with them. So I just gotta find the middle ground there, I think. I don't know, would like educational streams or videos or whatever be something people would be interested in? How to shade stuff, or a watercolor 101. I don't know. Like, I'm self-taught, so I'm sure there'll be people like, no, this isn't how you do it, blah, blah, blah. But I can at least explain what I do. I don't know, just shoot me a message or a comment or something if that's something you think you'd be interested in. It's like I said, I'm not I've been painting for I guess it'll be almost 15 years. But like I said, I'm self-taught, so the things I learn are probably pretty different from the way people are taught. I don't actually know. Like, I have friends and people I know who've gone to art school, but I've never asked much about how they learned certain things. I just want to get a couple more of the bigger vines done. And then I think I'll dip out I've got commissions I need to work on. And then, later tonight, I think I'll finish up Miss Lenny Face, get her framed, get some photos in, put her up for sale and for prints. As this is getting filled in, the expression is just killing me. Just grabbing a little more green from over here and kind of filling stuff in. That's something nice you can do with watercolor too, is you can just pull a little extra paint from somewhere while it's still wet. You can do this with pretty much any medium, but I like the way you can do it in watercolor where you can just see where things have collected a little bit and just kind of throw it somewhere else. Good, maybe a warmer green. That one was a little more on the neutral end of things. Yeah, there we go. It's a nice kind of more yellowy green. There's that one. And I think I'll mix up a chartreuse. Chartreuse is like really yellowy green. Like it's more yellow than green, but it's still green enough to be considered a green. Let's see. I just want to get some of the smaller things. Let's see. Here we go, that's a much warmer green. I'm into that. I may do an olive green for the next one. Where olive green's an interesting one, because you don't need to mix a green to make it. You can just use like a cool yellow, like a lemon yellow, and black. Just a teeny bit of black. Just grabbing a little more. What's with all this heavy breathing crap? I just want to hear the song. I want to grab some more of that green. I wanted to bring it down here. Let's see. I'm going to do a darker green now. And I'll do that back here. Sorry, I think I accidentally elbowed the tripod. I think after I get this filled in and let it dry, I'm going to go on with some colored pencils again. Oops. Just a Tupperware thing that fell. I think I'm going to go in with a couple of some colored pencils and refine lines and add in some bolder colors. I have some in my easel in here. It's got a little drawer in it. I've got some neon colored pencils that I love to use. I might throw those in. I threw them on the mermaid, and when I scanned her, it ended up being almost impossible to see because the colors were just so bright. It was weird. There we go. Just needed a little light. So make sure got a couple small vines in the back I can fill in. Just gonna do little dots. And when those dry, I'll add a fine line because otherwise it's gonna bleed. Maybe I can grab more green from in here. There we go. Let's grab a cooler green from here. Yeah, I think I'll skip out on the green ink and keep the colors a little less harsh back here. Let's grab a more neutral. Well, I guess that's going to be more of a yellow green. Let's roll with it. Let's see. Put that back here behind that vine. And back here next to this one. Now we'll do a more neutral green. We'll add that over here. Now we're getting into the tiny stuff. I think after I do, excuse me, after I do a couple more greens, a couple more different shades of green on these really tiny vines back here, what I'm gonna do is she has a couple strands of hair sticking out of her scarf, so I'm gonna fill in those. But then I think I'll call it. That's often how it is with painting. It's always like, oh, I want to do this one more thing, but you still gotta take breaks and let things dry a little before you can carry on sometimes. Sometimes you can knock something out in one sitting, and that's always really satisfying. Yeah, I think I'll work more on little tiny eyes in a while. His cheeks turned out nice. I'm very happy with that. He's got such rosy little cheeks. Let's see. I'm just checking. Oh, I've got one more. Yeah, nice dark green for that. It's over here. There's one more. I just used the same green. Just fill in those spots. I'll add a little green there too. Alright, so I'm just going to do a couple strands of hair. I'll just give her dark brown hair. Test that out on a scrap piece of paper. It's a nice sepia color. Gonna have it kind of curl around a little bit. Maybe I'll throw in a little bit of burgundy in there. I think like a richer burgundy color would look cute. And she'll have a couple of curls in front of her ears. Anyway, I'm going to work more on her later on. First I want to get some work done on commissions. So this is what I have so far. And I'll post pictures on Instagram too, and I'll upload stuff tonight. So thanks for watching. If you want to see more of this stuff, you can follow me here on Periscope or on Instagram at @Empataki It's the same username that I have here. Or you can follow me on YouTube for like full streams and stuff. And that's just Empataki Art, but like grammatically correct and capitalized properly. Anyway, thanks for chilling, and see you later.